my name is George Mert, and this is my Microcampus journey. What is Microcampus? Microcampus is a 28-day experience where, in our case, 9 students go to a small village in the south of China. The village we went to, its name is Xizhou. In Xizhou, we were asked to study a topic of high interest. I chose a small business case study. I also chose to investigate the changes in businesses in Xizhou. To do this, I needed a thesis statement. My thesis statement was, any investigation into how businesses have changed in Xizhou must consider the following: changes in customer base, how inflation affects businesses, and changes in business owners' integrity. Transformation from locals to tourists. Mao Ye. When Mao Ye came here, the Linden Center had not been built yet. Once the Linden Center had been built, in 2008, more and more tourists came. This has transformed his business because he wants to cater to more tourists. Zhao Ai. She says that since she started her business, tourists have been a vital part of her everyday life. When she first started her business, there wasn't much competition because not many people knew about Xizhou. In the last 3 years, there's been a huge burst in tourists, and now there's much more competition. Mr. Young. When I talked to Mr. Young, he commented on how his restaurant only used to serve locals, but now most of his customers are tourists. When he first opened his shop, his main profits came from locals, and fried rice used to only cost 6 RMB. Now, his main profits come from tourists, and fried rice costs 9 RMB. He can do this because the tourists do not know better. Because of the change from locals to tourists, I believe that there will be many more souvenir shops like Dali and Lizhou Old Town. Faye agrees with me. This is why she opened up her shop. She sells products that are small knickknacks of Xizhou's heritage. Mao Ye and Faye's shop share one common thing. They both sell small collectibles of Xizhou. You can see oftentimes when you look at newer shops in Xizhou, because their products are aimed at tourists. The types of shops that are going to be opened in Xizhou are going to be shops that sell cultural things and things that tourists will like. This will change Xizhou because no longer will you have the product market being locals. You'll have the target market being tourists. Inflation is a sustained increase in the general price level of goods and services in an economy over a period of time. When the price level rises, each unit of currency buys fewer goods and services. This means that the value for the RMB in this city goes down. Rent. When Faye came in January, it cost about 5,000 RMB per month. This happens because of inflation. When Mao Ye first came to Xizhou in 2007, he only paid 2,000 RMB per month. This is also evident from a conversation with Mr. Zhang, the haircutter. He said that he only has to pay 2,000 RMB per month for a shop, so we can port to inflation for this. As the economy has grown, there is a higher demand for housing in Xizhou. Supplies. When I was talking to Faye, she said that she imports most of her products from her friend in Thailand. She does this because it costs less to import things than to make them. This is very interesting because most of the shops in Xizhou opened because they made handmade things. In Shanghai, we see the evidence of imports and exports, but in Xizhou, we see mostly handmade products. Most of the restaurants in Xizhou get their food from morning markets in Xizhou, which can simply supply them with grown food. As the economy grows, people in Xizhou will find that it's easier to import their food and less costly. Profit. Mr. Yang says that now horse car driving is much more expensive. He believes that quality is more important than cost and that he will never give that up. The price right now is about 20 RMB per person. He uses the money to take care of his horse and feed himself. We can see the effects of inflation because in 1997 it used to cost 5 RMB to care for a horse. Since that, it has gone up to 8 to 9 to 10 RMB. And then in 2005 it jumped to 15 RMB. Now, in 2015, it is about 40 RMB per day. He says this is because of inflation in Xizhou. It has been a sustained increase of about $1 to $2 per year. This is a real-life example of positive and negative impacts of inflation. because he has to charge more per day to take care of his horse, but he also makes more profit. Integrity of businesses in Qizhou. Du Fangming believes that in Qizhou's rapidly changing economy, it will take a lot to be successful in the future, and a people's business will have to change from honest to smart. He fears this because people will lose their integrity and turn into business people instead of real people. They will charge more for tourists than locals. Mr. Zhang has also said this because he believes that the tradition of Qizhou businesses is to be honest. But this is changing as people realize that they can make more money if they are smart. Qizhou businesses are becoming rapidly more commercial. Mr. Yang commented on how people are becoming more commercial and that it will take being commercial to be successful. He says that if you advertise better, you'll be able to charge more because you are in higher demand. He related this to the Linden Center because they are able to charge more than any other hotel here because they are known worldwide. This is why Mr. Yang believes so much in being commercial. There are also 2 new supermarkets in Qizhou. These supermarkets are evidence of how commercial Qizhou is going to become. Because of more tourists and more unknowing people in Qizhou, businesses are starting to realize that they can charge more without people knowing this. We see this with Qizhou Baba. A tour guide used to be able to buy Qizhou Baba for 4 to 5 RMB. Now they are lucky if they can get it to 8 to 10, and they pay more for it willingly. Mao Ye also does this. He watches and sees if the person knows a lot about antiques, and if they do, he will charge them a good price for the thing they are buying. But if they do not, he will charge them 3,000 to 4,000 RMB more.